Hello, my name is Liz Kunsanginamo, and I'm making this short video today with the aim of sharing information about the healing path of the Triquerta, which I'll explain in more detail later on in the video. But first of all, I'll give you just a little short bit of information about my background. I've been involved in healing for nearly 30 years in one form or another, up to doing Reiki, to master teacher level, Karuna Reiki, theta healing to intuitive anatomy level, shamanic healing, soul retrieval, power retrieval, and many other things, gestalt psychotherapy, counselling. So lots and lots of different things. And also for 20 years I have been a Buddhist practitioner of the Young Drumbon tradition of Tibet, which is indigenous to Tibet, among other things. Now 3 years ago everything changed. I had a really traumatic experience. Someone very close to me died, and it really made me question everything I'd ever done spiritually, everything I'd ever done in regard to healing. I mean everything. And whilst it was a very difficult time, a very sad time, it shook me to my core. And as I often do, I meditated, I read more, I walked, I asked questions, and so lots of things happened. That's all I'll say just now. Lots of things did happen, and I also around that time began training with the Isis school, which is, when I say Isis, I'm talking about the goddess Isis, or Iset, which is her ancient name. And at that time, lots of questions and different experiences started to happen to me at that time. I had asked Isis or Iset for a healing practice that was rooted in this land, the land that I live in, Scotland, that connected me to either traditions or healing energies that were connected to my land. I don't just mean Scotland, but I do mean Ireland, Wales, Britain as a whole. I have ancestry in Ireland as well as Scotland and elsewhere. And I really didn't know where this was all going to go. I just knew that I wanted something that I felt belonged to me or to my people, and I really from my heart wanted to be able to serve my community or my people with something that belonged to us, that was literally in our bones. And although I'd asked for this, I didn't really know what was going to happen, but I completely trusted Isis or Reset and the process. And although I knew whatever was going to happen wasn't going to happen overnight, I wasn't going to be given that on a plate, I trusted that something would happen for sure. This all culminated in me spending significant amounts of time in nature over a long period of time, through wind, sleet and snow, rain, just everything. meditating in sacred places, in the woods, with beautiful and spiritual yew trees, just everything you could imagine, having no idea what was going to happen, but trusting that something would. And, Goddess willing, I would receive what I needed for my community and for myself. And steadily, bit by bit, I started to receive information or wisdom knowledge, direct experiences of healing energies, and many other things that I won't go into here, it wouldn't be appropriate, but significant and powerful experiences for sure. And it really became a really huge soul retrieval for me personally, because it felt that it was mine. It was from this land, belonged to the people, my people, to my ancestors. And although I'd done all these other spiritual practices over many years, whether they were Indian, Tibetan, Japanese, you name it, I was completely ignorant of the power in my own land and my own peoples and the history of my own people. And it's so shocking really when I think about it now. I was so involved in all sorts of traditions from all other countries. I knew nothing of my own, the Celtic traditions, with the Mabinogion and from Wales, and all the amazing Irish myths and legends of the Triquerta Danu, of the Scottish folklore. I mean, there are massive amounts of information there. Some of it's hidden and veiled and couched in maybe Christian language as well, all sorts of things. And that has been a real eye-opener for me, and has been over the last few years. But really the most, I have to be honest here and say, the most important, precious and valuable teachings and wisdom, knowledge and connection is key here, with the ancient enlightened deities of our own land, like Danu and Brigid and Cailleach. These are our enlightened beings, and these are our Celtic Buddhas, if you will, who have the wisdom knowledge and can actually, I would go as far as to say, could help you to awaken, to reach certain levels of enlightenment. These are very, are amazing energies and filled with wisdom. So yes, it's been an amazing journey, and I am enormously grateful that I have been able to reclaim this, for myself, but also for others and for my own community. And it's been an amazing gift. And this has become what I have referred to earlier as the healing path of the Triquerta, which is guided by, in particular, Danu, the goddess Danu, the goddess Brigid, and the goddess Cailleach, and also what I would call the Council of the Healing Path of the Triquerta, who are guiding this healing and spiritual path. Whilst the main aim of the path is healing, and being able to give one-to-one healing sessions for people. It's also so that it can be shared with others who also wish to learn, who would like to learn this approach, this practice of healing to benefit themselves and to benefit others. Now, this is also a spiritual path in a way. Whilst healing is the main aim, there are spiritual components to this and aspects to this, because really, ultimately, you cannot, in my experience, really separate the two. You can't just have healing and there is no sort of spiritual connection. That's just my experience, and that's my opinion, but it's just my experience and opinion. So there are spiritual aspects to the training if you were to train in the healing path of the Triquerta. And there are 7 doors, I will say oak doors, to go through, starting with door number 1. So all I can say is that this healing path, the healing itself, the healing energies, and how the deities work, either through you as a practitioner or with someone who's receiving healing, is incredibly beautiful, stunningly beautiful. It is peaceful, it is powerful, it is clearing, it brings so much light back into the body, it retrieves so many things that need retrieved and brought back to the person receiving healing. And as someone who might be training in the healing path of the Triquerta, it has the power to start to open you up in an appropriate way spiritually, again bringing a lot of light into your body and through your system. It has the power to awaken you in different ways at different levels, and there is so much love there. There is so much love from the goddesses in particular, from the deities. There really, really is. And you can feel it. It is absolutely palpable when you're working with them as a practitioner, or if you're receiving. It really is that beautiful. And I don't know that there's much more that I can say. Obviously, I would be absolutely delighted if you were interested. If you're interested to find out more, or if you feel a calling to the training itself, I would be happy to talk to you more, or send you more information. And it would be really wonderful if you were interested and feel that calling. You might feel a connection to the deities that I've spoken about. You may connect with me in some level. You might just have an intuitive feeling or feel it in your heart. Whatever it is that's guiding you, please trust it. Just please trust that. This is absolutely authentic, and this is my calling, my purpose. I take it very, very seriously, and all I can say is it's an amazing journey. And on that note, I shall finish and wish you well and blessing, and may the goddesses keep you safe. Goodbye.